welcome to Paris in Stereo. I'm Jason Paris. Tonight's going to be a little bit more of a low-key stream. Yeah. Just going to... So the idea is tonight, for everyone who's here, is I will probably do more of a... I'm kind of working out some stuff for intro music. I have a bunch of patiently waiting people who have been waiting for me to do some music for them for a little while. And I thought, well, instead of trying to do like a full thing on like Logic or something first, why don't I use my improv setup as kind of a scratch pad, as a primer for this. And I figured that would be the perfect opportunity to look into some of those avenues and just kind of, work on something. If it's not working, then move on to the next thing, and I'll have a record of everything I'm working on, and we can all go back and listen and go, I really like this part here, and see if we can recreate that. And then I can do a Logic session of those things. I'm hoping some of those people will come in tonight and give me some feedback. Otherwise, I'll probably just work on a couple of things until they sound pretty cool and know that they'll be set there on Twitch Broadcast History, and I can, of course, save it to YouTube eventually and kind of go from there. But yeah, not the normal stream tonight. I don't think I've done anything quite like this actually before. I'm still making music, but it's not going to be like, song so much as like really kind of crafting some stuff and twiddling with some knobs a bit more and working with different patches a bit more. And I think it will be a little more low-key, a little chiller, and we'll see how it runs and see if any of you lovely folks come in and say hi. So yeah, I have a piano sound to start with here. I have the dog running around, probably wondering, like, will you get off the piano? So I have GarageBand on this guy here, which is a really helpful tool for this because it has a bunch of different sounds you can use. And of course, I do have my synthesizer, my Mini Nova, that can be useful for things. But I think a lot of this will probably end up coming out of the iPad, just because it's easy and it has a lot of different options. I also have the Roland Sound Canvas I can use, which is cool. Oh, you know what? I was going to take my pill. That's what I was going to do. An acid reflux pill I should probably take. A little information for you guys. But one second, I'll be right back. Right. Ooh. Cool deal. I'm right back at ya. Okay, so we'll see what comes of this, but let's just kind of mess around and see what I can come up with. Might be fun. It may well inform my other sessions too. I'm going to take this out. There we go. Excuse me. Goodness. It's a little dusty in here. I got air coming from different directions, so fun times. I think I was working with Blaze Valkyrum, and of course I don't have my mod here right now to help me post things in chat, but Blaze is a good friend, and he's been waiting so patiently for me to do something. So I'm going to probably start with a little brooding piano stuff, and we'll see what kind of comes from that. It just sounds jazzy. Let's get a little lower. Oh, that was weird. Oh, weird. Acting a little strange. Let's try this one. Let's see. So you'll start a little bit here. Okay. It's an interesting start. Hey, Blaze, welcome in. Welcome on in. Oh, no worries, man. I just got started. This is literally the first thing I'm working on. It's the part of town I live in. Hey, welcome in. Yeah, it's not. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do some. Okay, I guess this still has reverb coming from something, and I never know exactly what. What could possibly be getting reverb right now? Oh, everything is getting reverb right now. That's what's going on. Yeah, so I am trying to do some intro music for some people, and I thought I would do some scratchpad stuff just to kind of get things going. I found, I mean, this patch on GarageBand is just amazing, and it sounds really cool to mess with and play with. So I'm always down with it. There's some other cool stuff in here, but not as cool as that. I don't know, it's just like this sound is, I mean, it does sound pretty like. For Blaze Valkrum, who just came in a little bit ago with a nice raid, and it's super cool. So I just have mostly this going on. So yeah, I've just been messing with that for a little bit here. I like that. I mean, that's pretty easy, right? It's just. Is this still? can't remember what it's called. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's kind of an idea in itself. I don't think that's better actually. It's nice to have some different things happening there usually. But I got all kinds of cool stuff I can do. start with this. I need like a tambourine. You know what? Hold on a second. Do I have a tambourine? Do I have a tambourine? Let me tell you, I'm a down a tambourine. Nice. I said okay somewhere. Weird. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I. So, do you like that, Blaze? I mean, I can save this probably to a setting, and maybe I can, or I can just perform it now. There's kind of two ways I could do about this. Either way, either I could try to record this into something, which I can do that pretty easily without any microphone, so I can take away this horrible mic sound. So basically I can kind of write this out because I don't want to lose this. This is pretty cool, and I figure if I might not be able to capture this exactly, I could probably do something very similar, but not with the Korg and all that, and be kind of more of an organic thing, which I like. So, okay, let's, well, there's just so much noise in these. I don't think it's a huge problem. I could probably figure out something to deal with this that wouldn't have all this noise in it. Let's see. Okay. So if we go. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna do one pass through of this song. You like that part? Which one? The. I'm on the mess side, going on my way to the late. I wish I could rap. This would be a cool thing to rap over, I think. The east side, going yeah, I like that too. Oh yeah. So basically I could try to, let me do this. Let me save this. I'll write this to the second memory, which I've never done. And then that will be saved, and I'll know that that's one thing I could do. And then what I could do is I could just record this maybe off of Stream, but I could record it into my computer. The slower the better. Got it. I mean, yeah, the whole thing can be slowed down. Let's see. Watch. Let's see. So right now we're at, everything just sounds like this together. I could do, we're at 92, I could slow this down. in, everyone. Agent Cooper with a party of 19. Goodness gracious. Thanks for coming in. I'm just doing some really low-key jam stuff. Thanks so much for coming in. That's super awesome. I'm just working out some like low-key stuff for Blaze here. Got it's time for lifesaver break. 505 is awesome. Got Mark Rebelik tickets in a few months. I'm not sure if I know who that is, but I'm guessing by the loop it that he also does looping stuff, and probably much better than I do. Goodness gracious, my alert box is way up there, eh? Let's try that again. Bloop. There we go. Oh. I have to categorize a controlled group of looper. What does that say? That was why I portrayed this one. Wait. Blind pianist. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's nice when it's in a A minor, because then you can just use all the keys. All the white ones, anyway. 1, 3 multitask. I'm going to have to categorize a control group of looper. Yeah. Now I have to find what is still... there we go. There's my other thing. So hey everyone, welcome in. I'm Jason Paris. This is Paris in Stereo. I usually do like a improv looping song thing. Happy Kaiju comes in, writes some lyrics for me, and tonight I'm doing something a little bit different, where I'm kind of ruminating on one thing for a little bit longer. I've really only been playing the one song for the last hour, but really just kind of getting a sense of what this might be like, trying to do like a little intro for Blaze. So yeah, and there's Blaze right there. Valkyrum. Is it Valkyrum? I'm probably saying it right all up until this moment, but that's how this usually goes. But I got my GarageBand through iPad. I also have some other synthesizers through that iPad. Mini Nova, an RC505, Electribe 2, a random floor tom, and some various mixers and other assortment things. But I've been working on this one for a little bit, and I have it saved to the second patch, so I can go back and maybe look at this later if I want to turn that into a song. But I figured might as well do something different, since I have it saved now, and now it's gone. It's here, right? So if I start playing it, yeah, it comes back, but of course this is on the wrong patch now. The stupid Electribe gets MIDI information from this, and it decides that one of these should be change the preset to some weird thing, and I don't know why it does that. I haven't decided to figure it out. Until that moment, we're just going to mess with what I got. 209 is Paris pattern. Hey, come on now. Let's stop it. There we go. It's also much louder than most of the rest of the stuff. There's my normal drums. So yeah, since that's in there, let's go back to 1, and now we should have full reign over everything. 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 Yeah. This is I forgot. That's okay. Now we got it made. Now we got it made. So yeah. I think slow and steady was kind of the idea, but you know, maybe I'll mess around and do some other stuff too, just because I feel like it, and see what happens with it. But what we got here? So got the normal strings. It's kind of interesting. Let's see what comes of that. Kind of went... Well, I think drums are usually easy to start with. So here's the cool thing. So right now, that cocktail took too long. Back. Welcome back, Agent. So I have this floor tom here that's covered with a sheet. You know, that's cool enough, right? Where you could just easily make that into a... But if you do the guitar to bass effect, it makes it sound super cool. It has a bit more of a like a huge sound to it, which is neat. And I kind of stumbled upon that by accident. I was like, oh, I didn't realize you could basically use an octavator to make your drum sound super gigantic. Big fan of octavators. Yeah, right? It's super cool. So I'm enjoying that. I'm kind of, you know, new to that a bit, so we got reverb, we got panning delay, which is great. I use it all the time. Um, we could probably... The only problem right now is I don't have a way to do this and then still give it reverb. I can give everything reverb at the end, but I'm still trying to figure out all kinds of ways to, add effects at different points in the loop, which is kind of interesting. So I have it so you can set, obviously you can set a reverb now, and I can have it where I can have both of these at the same time, but I don't have it set currently to do that. I can't remember why. I think I like kind of switching between them, but let's see. It's also because some of the effects go away if you do the double thing, so yeah. I also have the problem of I haven't set foot pedals for this. I have I have an FCB 1010 sitting right there. I'm looking right at it, and I don't have it set up as a foot pedal right now. I really should, so I can, control these things with my feet. But that means I'd have to work on it for longer than I usually work on it. So, you do what you can. You make it work. A Nectar Pacer. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a effects pedal of some sort? It's kind of cool little beat. And I could add like regular sound if I wanted to. Oh, okay, yeah. That sounds much cooler. It's like too loud for it now. Oh, it's because of this. Here we go. Yeah, it's a bit interesting. Now do it with a trash can lid, right? If I had one, I totally would. I don't know what most of these things sound like if I turn down an octave. Like this bell set, for example. What the hell does this sound like? That can add reverb. Yeah, that does sound a bit like the Dust Never Go Away. All the reverb, all the places. Hey, thanks. I don't. Whoa, this is still going. Let's try to do that and that. So yeah, I'm mostly just kind of messing around, working on some things, seeing what happens. Thanks so much for the raid and for coming in and checking out what's going on. That's super cool. I really appreciate that. And the sub, my gosh. So super nice. I do this about twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays. I think it may sometimes be Saturdays. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it work. Yeah, goodness. I'm still learning. You know, I used to do this on an iPad using Loopy HD, which was cool. But I didn't have... I don't know. I really like having all the kind of chaos pad elements that this has and the ability to mess with the faders and all that good garbage. And I feel like it limits you in ways that kind of make it a little easier to be artistic sometimes, which I think is nice. But yeah, today just kind of seeing what comes out and all that good garbage. That's right. I can't say that it's going to be great, but you know, I can do my best. I like this mini marimba instead of xylophone. Right? Okay, so I have Ableton in whatever their intro level Ableton is, and I've messed with a little bit, and it's still like I'm still trying to get a sense of it. But I do like how portable this is. Like I don't need to use my laptop for anything but streaming. But yeah, Ableton's a great system. I would love to mess with that. Yeah, make a video explaining this up. That'd be great. I would totally watch that. I would love to use it. I know people use lots of software instruments, and that's super cool too. For whatever reason, I found myself gravitating more and more to just almost like a standalone system without a DAW. Just using this guy. This guy really kind of changed how I was dealing with things, and then I kind of use all the different sounds that the iPad can produce with all the different applications, all the different synthesizer apps I have. 505 is great. It's just like it's very. I mean, I know it's not as flexible as Ableton goes, but there's something I like about it. The way that it does business, it just kind of puts you into a certain mindset, and I think that's really neat. So it was a pretty big thing when I got it, and it took me a while to even like it because I was like, I don't know if I like this or not. Yeah, I would love to check out Mark Rebelit. I will definitely do that. There are people I watched do stuff with this 505, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like they must just work with it a lot and get a good sense of exactly how to make transitions really good, and not overdo some of the effects, and yeah. So I'd love to do. I mean, I know with Ableton you could just do like, obviously all the synthesizers and everything would be inside the machine, and you wouldn't have to have all this stuff. But I kind of like all this stuff too, so I don't know. It kind of goes both ways. There are goods and bads to both, and sometimes I get bored of the sounds. Like I'm kind of done sometimes with a Mini Nova. I'm like, oh, I know I haven't really like totally maximized what I'm doing with it at all. Like I haven't really like messed with the patches and tried to figure out some cool patches that I would make. But yeah, it is a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. I think it came out in 2013, the RC505. And I was waiting because I was like, they gotta come out with something new, right? Something even better. But as soon as something does come out better, I know that I'd probably be like wanting to sell this thing immediately. Not that I don't love it, but there's definitely some limitations it has. Sorry for all the reverb there. I realized that was just kind of in the background. I have like 3 sources of reverb. I have one in here. I have one on. I'm using my old audio interface from 2004. I have a Edirol UA700. It was a USB 1 audio interface. It's like one of my first audio interfaces. It has all these effects on it too, and like microphone effects and guitar effects, and they're all terrible, but it made a nice like last reverb patch before, like, I still had this around, so I was like, why not throw it into the mix? I have this really old Mackie mixer, and I would really love to like expand a little bit more, get a bigger mixer, being able to run more things in, like my bass and a couple other things, because that would be super fun. But yeah, I mean, old gear, if you keep it around, you never know what's going to be used for. Like, it's really hard for me to get rid of stuff sometimes because I know that somewhere along the line I might want to do something with it, which is fun. But yeah, even the Mackie has some effects on it, but I need to clean the board or something because it's really scratchy. So I decided, so I'm using a Quadraverb from 1994 as one of my inputs for reverb. So I actually have like too many reverb ports, but I think it's already going through. Yeah. That's the Quadraverb. Yeah. So I have that to basically add to. I have it running from the Mackie out into the Quadraverb and then back, and then from the Quadraverb into my RC505, which then goes out to the Electribe is the last thing. And the Electribe goes to the audio to this UA700 because it has a compressor built in. So this means like basically patchworking stuff together just to make it so that I can have a little bit more interesting compression stuff going on. And I'd like to get a standalone compressor and all that good stuff too eventually, but you kind of costs a lot of money and you just do what you can. So, and all that good garbage, as you said. Do you have stuff outside of Twitch? Do you do live stuff outside of Twitch? I'd like to, but I haven't figured out exactly what my show would look like, if that makes sense, because I feel like just doing what I'm doing right now, which is like improvising, would be a little weird live, especially if I don't know exactly what I'm about to get myself into. I mean, it sounds like a scary and fun experiment for people, but I would love to do I want to do some like set songs as well, where people, like if they knew who I was, they would like, oh, he does this. Here's this original. He can do looped, and then here's some covers he could do, and then also just do some improvising stuff as well, a la Reggie Watts or who whatever. The only problem is that I can't come up with lyrics off the top of my head. But Happy Kaji is usually with me, and she does lyrics for me, so she'll pull stuff from the. Yeah, I know Reggie's just amazing. He doesn't use this though. He uses that Electro Harmonix, what, the 95,000 or whatever it is, or 45,000. He used the 45,000. Now he moved to their next higher one. But yeah, I'd love to do. I'd love to do something live. I just can't come up with lyrics off the top of my head like he does. Yeah, he used DL Forest. It's pretty cool. Yeah, he used DL Forest, and then he used the Electro Harmonix in kind of tandem with each other. And now I guess because Electro Harmonix was like, yeah, this is our guy, they start giving him more stuff, which is cool. But yeah, I would love to be able to do that. I mean, this gives you some ability to be like, that's pretty cool. You can do that, but I'm still no Reggie Watts, A meme-filled version of, okay, interesting. Well, I'm even more intrigued now, because actually Reggie Watts was the reason why I was like, maybe I could do something like that, because I had messed with some loopers on my phone, and I did some music stuff all over my life, but I was like, I could kind of do this looping thing. It's kind of fun and improvise stuff, and I did it on a buddy of mine's channel. He had like some musicians on every once in a while, and I did on his channel. This is like a year ago. In fact, a year and a couple months ago. And then I was like, well, I could do maybe I could do a whole channel myself of this kind of stuff and other things and music making and whatnot. And here we are. I also have a SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/ParisInStereo. You can see some of the, the longer versions of some of these songs I made, and then went back and decided to make them into like full-fledged songs. But we have so many of these songs over the last year. There's probably like 300 ideas that I could look back on and potentially make, into full album versions or whatever. But it's a great way to do scratchpad stuff, like to kind of brainstorm out some songs. So that's what I've always enjoyed about it. Goodness. I don't know. Tonight I'm just kind of experimenting with stuff, so some of it may not work, some of it may. You never know. Yeah, Streaming Idea Bank. I mean, it's a great resource. You can always look back on it and say, "Oh, this is great," or "This is garbage." No. You're great. I'm enjoying the nerding out. I'm enjoying the chat. Sometimes it's just a tumbleweed zone in here, and it's nice when it's not. So what have we got in here? This has some really nice, bass sounds and stuff. Especially when you have all this reverb on it, apparently. There is no higher or lower than plain and stereo. Keep your chin up. There's no higher or lower. This plain and stereo. Mi amigo. Well, gracias. Struggling with